The Beehive. Sometimes when I cannot sleep, I like to picture myself from above. I see myself lying in bed. I zoom out slowly to my room and to the streets around me, under the streetlights. Sometimes I zoom out until I see our whole globe. And I think to myself, my story is so small and so big. Chapter 1. These days, home is just a picture in my mind. I'm from a place far away from here. All I know is that mom and dad decided to move because something bad happened at our house one day. I can only remember two things from home. That beehive in the field where we played. And I remember mom sitting in the washing tub in the yard for hours. She would wash herself until the soap was as thin as paper. Later on, we took a long journey without dad. I remember flashes, like the truck. The truck was bad. Taxis, hotels, neck aches, smells of oil, and the flower print of mom's dress. I never understood where we were going, or why. When I think of those times of my life, it helps me know who I am now. It does not define me, but it is part of who I am. Chapter 2. When we arrived, Cape Town seemed like a giant beehive to me, like the one back home. Mom and I lived in a dark room. The kitchen floor was cracked, and I wondered if my journey could continue right into that crack where it was dark and warm. I wanted to find a safe space where I could start to grow. In fact, my whole life has been about looking for something familiar in the unfamiliar. I got into a school. My friends at school were warm and fun. The teachers too. And the man in the corner shop. But our neighbor said, don't trust any of them. She did not even open her mouth in the taxi in case people could hear her accent. Mom kept talking about papers. She couldn't get papers. Later she got a paper, but the paper got rejected. Somehow it wasn't the right paper. Up and down for papers. One night, Mom hit the table and said, I didn't used to be like this before we came here. Mom got worse and worse, thin like her bath soap, until she went away for a while. I don't want to tell you about that. Some ladies came to our dark room and took me with them. Chapter 3. After Mom left, there were so many officers. This one a social worker, this one a lawyer, a beehive of officers. I was worried that they'd think I was there to take what was theirs. What was I meant to tell them? I didn't understand what they wanted to know. What was my truth anyway? The truth comes out in layers, and it takes time. And what then? Would I be sent away? Would they send me through the crack in the kitchen floor? How deep does this beehive go? A social worker put me in a safe place. I felt gratitude for all the help. But that is a complex feeling to have. If I could pay them all back, maybe I would feel better. Did I need to say thank you for something that I had a basic right to? I heard later that Mom had gone back home. When I heard that, I wondered if she was alright. I wondered what I was left with and who I was without her. Chapter 4. I feel like a patchwork person. A little bit South African. Maybe I'm more African. I'm not sure. It took a long time to trust people, but I found safe places now. Familiar places. In these cracks, I have started to grow. Here at the home, we speak our languages and cook our own food because it keeps familiarity alive. I am growing into something, using the past and present. Next year is matric. I don't know what is going to happen. I cannot get a paper. My paper was joined to mom's paper. And without her here, there's no paper for me. I don't understand why, even though office people have explained it to me many times. If I had a paper, I could sit matric, no problem. If I had a paper, I could think about university or getting a job. If I had a paper, I could get a library card, a bank account. Maybe I'd have a clearer head. Without a paper, all the paths in front of me look dark. Anyway, I am okay. Some people say I am strong. Actually, I'm just surviving and hustling, and most of the time, I forget that I have the story. I just want to get on and be me.